Oh, that's fresh. That's right.
So we're bringing nothing to the table. Beautiful.
It's fun time.
What the fuck is up, Buckeye Nation? This is going to be the hottest podcast you're going to hear. I am pissed off. I know Jeff and Sean are pissed off. We're coming in with our triple sausage again because of this bullshit. We're coming in trips right. I got Jeff in the slot, Sean out wide. I'm in the middle, and we're going to go full tilt on these motherfucking cocksuckers. Okay, you guys know the drill. We are born and bred Buckeyes from the Buckeye State. We don't do homework. We come at you with our bullshit. This is a good show, I'll tell you that, because Jeff and Sean have some real shit about this Indiana game to talk about. And then we're going to blast you with some whiskey Wisconsin bullshit and tell you how we're going to roll through these. Who we got here tonight? We got Jeff, my brother, in the O.
What's up, brother? What's going on?
We got Sean, in the D, behind the bullshit. He's infiltrating. Yeah, he's infiltrating those motherfuckers. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and hit the website, thebuckeyecast.com. So, I'm ready to jump right into this stuff. I know you guys are coming in hot. This Indiana game was less than impressive, to say the least. I'm going to hit you, Jeff, first to get a quick what the fuck out of you.
Sure. Why the fuck can't we pass the ball?
Great question. Great question.
Let's start there.
What, the forward pass?
Yeah, we fucking tuck it downfield. I don't care if it goes 5 yards downfield. It doesn't have to go 30. But fuck, we can't. We couldn't hit 3 deep balls yesterday. We weren't even close on any of them. And when the guy was open every time, imagine that.
JT's arm.
Three deep balls. Underthrown, overthrown.
Garbage.
What?
Under.
We look like first timers throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Why?
Joe texted me during the game of that, and it was like fucking reminiscent of the MSU. You're not going to make those bombs. I heard it was windy. I don't know, but if it is windy, don't throw the fucking bomb. How about the fucking quick hit routes? Everything. I feel like we only throw to the outside of the field. We throw like nothing in the middle. I don't understand it. I don't fucking get it.
I'm all over that with you, Sean, because the first quarter we were lighting up slants and drag routes to Noah Brown, and they were moving the ball.
Ball had the first one for 20. Yeah, Marcus Ball caught that first one for like 20 on the crossing routes.
Yeah, and he had another one later, but that's exactly my point, Sean. You are nailing it. What the fuck is going on with this play calling? I mean, we did not throw the ball in the third quarter and almost the entire fourth quarter. Until late, that last drive, the last scoring drive, is when they threw the ball. You can't tell me that there was wind involved. We were chucking it all over on the first quarter and then the end of the fourth. This is bullshit.
Well, and again, you know what? Even if it is involved, it goes back to the same thing. It was involved last year, but you need to fucking take care of it. Have the fucking, ability to change your game plan and do different shit based on conditions, if that is one in fact. But I mean, it's like they they dig in. They're stubborn. Like, we're going to do this.
Right.
And
I agree 100%.
I don't feel like they're that creative. And it was an embarrassing offensive performance in my book. J.T. Barrett running it 26 times is a atrocity. It just shouldn't fucking happen. We are going to fucking... I'm worried we're going to lose this season because J.T. Barrett can't fucking play. Like you said, availability is everything.
Yeah.
And if you're not available...
Yeah, how many big hits does he have to take in a fucking Indiana game to finish the season?
I know. Is he going to run? He's probably going to run another 20 fucking times this week at Wisconsin. I guarantee it. With that,
oh, of course. Yeah, this is like a lack of confidence in the rest of the offensive players. Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, that is, yes. Number one, as I was watching the game, he can't carry the ball 26 times. We don't need him to carry the ball 26 times.
No.
And our play selection, we ran, I think, maybe out of a few different other formations, but we ran 3 basic pass route combinations the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see anything else. Now, the shallow crossings, we didn't even try to switch up with a guy running the deep post off, variation off of that double crossing route.
A flag post type thing.
Yeah. Cross your 2 guys short, and then you throw the deep guy going.
Exactly. Yeah.
None of that. In the swing passes, I don't know. I don't know why. I know we have more plays drawn up in our playbook than 5. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why we're not using them.
JT, in big games, we do it.
But this didn't have to be that big a game. I mean, now give Indiana credit though. Indiana's much better than your mom and dad's Indiana.
It is.
They're improved.
I will give you that.
They are improved, but they looked really good when they knew there's only chance of 3 different plays being ran.
Yep.
It was it was read option, or it was read option pretty much with the 2. The 2 plays off of that is JT keeps it or gives it to Weber. And then it's JT dropping back and he can't see anybody. Are our receivers not getting open the whole for stretches of the game?
Right.
I mean, for like a quarter and a half.
All I hear about is how deep
a lot of
that
questions.
Wide receiver. All I hear about is how deep that wide receiver room is, and nobody's open ever.
Right.
A lot of questions.
With a Heisman fucking quarterback, no one's ever open. Really.
I will say that JT did not overthrow. He overthrew one guy, but everybody was underthrown on the deep balls, and this was disgusting. These are not super deep balls like 60, 70 yards. I mean, these are like 30, 40. That was really frustrating.
They're deep balls. I think the wind was playing enough factor in that, helping you going one way and hurting you going the other. I think it's hard to judge, but that to me is why, it's like throwing at the beach. You're down there in Florida, boys. It's hard to, you throwing one way at the beach, it's nice. You throwing the other way, it's like, God, this ball ain't going nowhere.
Hey, yeah. The girls are coming. We got to switch sides, man. You're making me look bad.
Right.
This punk motherfucking duck throwing out.
Right. But still, I did not see any issue with Indiana throwing the ball all day long. Like I said, we threw it well in the first half, the first quarter, and then we whipped it around late in the fourth. So you're telling me that the wind was shitty for the second and third quarters? Come on. That's bullshit.
I wouldn't say we were exactly whipping it around. I mean, we had a few good pass plays, but,
we came out of the box.
But Barrett had a fair amount of pressure on him, too. He was getting hit.
Yes. Second half, he said he was getting blitzed every play. He was getting blitzed in the second half. Yeah. But
he's holding the ball. I mean, when he's holding the ball, 1 count, 2 count, 3 count, he's still holding the ball. Yeah, you're going to get pressure. You can't expect. I mean, I saw a lot of that. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's chopping his feet. But I mean, you're getting in that 3 second, 4 second. The line was holding up, I thought, for the most part against 4-man rush, 5-man rush.
Uh-huh.
But he wasn't finding anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the route combinations. If are they that good in coverage? I mean, they got a few good players, but their best corner went out of the game when he tackled Paris Campbell in a kickoff return.
He came back though, didn't he?
Did he come back?
I thought he
so.
did, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, regardless, their defense is much improved. This is something we touched on in the last episode.
Definitely.
What were they, like 46?
Well, I just watched the replay. That D is noticeably. I was watching those kids. They're going to bring the wood. They're
big up front. Real big up front.
Yeah, their front seven's good. No argument.
No doubt.
Maybe that's something we didn't plan for, but it seemed like we kind of gave into them. And the O-line I was unimpressed with this week. Penalties were a killer. Altogether, we had 9 again, for 83 yards. But again, we're getting these almost double-digit penalties, man. This stuff is going to come up to catch you in a tight game like a Wisconsin or a Michigan game. These are things that really concern me, and I'm fucking disgusted with. They're still going on this deep into the season.
Yeah, I agree. Just overall, completely frustrating. The defense I tell you what, I think the defense played phenomenal.
Yeah,
for the bad positions that the offense kept putting them in repeatedly. I thought the defense played great, but this offensive shit's got to get squared away. Yeah. We should not look mediocre or borderline, below average throwing the football.
Yep.
You should not
against anybody. And if the coaches weren't prepared for that, well, shame on them. Yeah. How the fuck are you not prepared?
I'm going to hit you guys with some numbers, all right? And I want your reaction. Just come at me with whatever you got. J.T. Barrett, passing. 21 attempts, 9 completions, 93 fucking yards. That's a 4.4 average for you that can't do math.
Thank you.
And a pick. Your taste on that one.
John, go ahead.
It tastes like shit, man. I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. I want to throw the ball as much as we run it. We can run it a little bit more, but not with JT, not against Indiana. I mean, you're going to need JT against late in the season against Michigan, who's looking solid, and the fucking 20. But anyway, so it goes back to the running. He did too much running, so not enough fucking passing. I know he's the man. He runs that offense, and I saw his post game. He does what he has to do to win. But I hate that it was 9 for 21. I think they set him up for failure on some of it with the long balls. I mean, those are low fucking percentage passes. And then there were some pressure ones where he tried to force it into Samuel a couple times. But you know what? He didn't lose his composure, and he ran hard, and he grinded it out just like JT does. So I don't want to be too critical of it because he's still a fucking boss.
Right. I realize we're kind of almost splitting hairs here, but I mean we need to criticize things that deserve it. I believe a lot of it points to play calling. You can't just blame JT for these numbers. Just like the rushing numbers, Jeff. Look at JT's numbers. He had 137 yards rushing. Okay, that's 44 yards more than his passing. So, and he had 26 carries. I mean, what do you take away from that? Is that too much? What is too much? I mean, this is only game 5.
It's too much. Curtis Samuel had 9 carries for 82 yards.
Yeah, great point.
Okay, 9.1 per carry. Weber ran hard. Weber looked great.
Weber's good.
I mean, and we got a few other guys that can run the ball as well. Now, it all goes back to play calling. I mean, JT's not gonna, if they call JT's number in the huddle, he's not gonna audible out of it. All right, but it seems like whenever we get in like a rut or something, doesn't go quite right, or there's a little bit of momentum the other way, Let's not trust anybody. It's just JT's the only one touching the ball. Only one touching the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah,
These guys.
that's the point, man.
These guys have
great insight.
These guys have continued to show us that they can all handle that responsibility. They can all make plays. They all deserve the ball. Repeatedly, game after game, in situation after situation. I don't know why I'm not sure why the coaching staff doesn't have, or doesn't at least show more trust in more of our playmakers.
Yeah,
and they've proven they can do it. We're gonna need help from a lot of people to keep this run going and go undefeated and run through all these other teams. I'm looking at this deep ball, the first deep ball of the game right now. Now that was pass interference on the DB. I don't know how you don't say he didn't impede Samuel.
I know.
Yeah,
but I don't know how that wasn't called.
But that was 5 yards. That was at least 5 yards shorter. He needed to throw it 10 yards further. Samuel could have ran underneath it.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
Doctorate on the shitty calls.
Well, yeah, this was a poorly refereed game. We can get into that at another time and maybe a fist fight. I don't care. But Jeff, going back to what you were talking about, I really wanted to highlight what you said about Curtis Samuel. I agree 100%. How does he only touch the ball 9 fucking times? And those are just carries. No,
he had 82
receptions.
yards. I mean, he was averaging 9 a carry. Try it a few more times.
Yeah,
he's the most
working
offensive player in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Weber?
Did not catch a pass. Did not catch a pass yesterday.
I'm not sure he had a target.
That long bomb. The long bomb at the after the goal line stand.
That was poorly thrown.
Horribly.
But there were 2 other times when JT was. I watched the replay, and it was a sideline thing that wasn't completable. And like when he was falling down, like getting sacked, he like threw at Samuel's feet. So I mean, I think he was gonna go there, but I mean, a little late, man.
That was short of the first anyway. You know, he wasn't even to the first down marker, so it would have taken a hell of an effort had he completed it. So, but
who makes more of an effort than Samuel?
Exactly.
I
get. Yeah. I get it, man. I think we're all on board with that bullshit. And Herb, in his post-game conference, had no excuse or no reason why we had these passing game struggles. He'll have to go back and look at the fucking tape. Yeah, all of us will. I think it's play calling, strictly, especially in the third quarter and most of the fourth. You guys went JT left, JT right, a la Braxton Miller's era.
And it got predictable. I mean, they started getting. I saw 9 in the box on a few plays.
Yeah,
because they're like, well, High State ain't gonna throw it. Well, fuck it. Mm-hmm. JT's keeping it. Let's just pack them all in here.
And they took the option out of the equation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was no option. It was JT. That's the option. So.
It's an effective play too because you're adding one more blocker. And,
sure.
You can get Weber leading block. I mean, it's an effective play. I'm not against it by any means, but not to the tune. It's not supposed to be your offensive your playbook. It's not supposed to be your offensive attack of your quarterback. Just power left, power right.
So I forgot.
You can't continue to do it. We can't continue to do it.
I forgot that.
If you're gonna, you better put the fucking knee braces on him. He's gonna.
Yeah, ankle braces, knee braces, whatever
elbow
you can.
Pads. I want my kid. I want him looking like my kid rollerblading.
Exactly. Yeah. I forgot to ask you guys initially off the top of the show. Are we enjoying the ride now? We closed last week's episode talking about how we need to enjoy the ride. It's only 3 months. It's 12 weeks of a season. But 1 week like this will really make you feel pissed off and very in the moment and questioning things, Are you enjoying the ride right now?
I am, but it's just, but I don't know. When I'm watching the game and I'm constantly just seeing play calling and predictability, I guess I get anxious for the games I know we have coming up. So yesterday wasn't very enjoyable. It wasn't a fun game to watch because I know we've played so much better. I know our capability is so much higher. So I didn't have fun yesterday watching the game, but this is my favorite time of the year. I mean, I love and overall, yes, I love watching these games. I love watching us play on Saturdays, but it is maddening when you see what we went through yesterday with just the predictability and just aggravated that we're so much better than what we look. So
you're enjoying the roller coaster, kind of?
Roller coaster's a little bit of an extreme word. I mean,
well, it's all relative. This is not a 2-loss team.
I mean, this was a three touchdown win against a good football team. Did we execute great? No. Did we get fucked on a hooker pick six to make it a 4-touchdown game?
Yes. Yes. I don't know why we didn't cover. We should have covered.
Yes.
We'll get to that later.
Tell me about that.
I mean, there's a lot of missed opportunities, but you know what? Still, again, young team. I'm fine with it. I think I predicted last week in my first prediction before I said they'd blow them out, it would be something like this. Because I expect a game like this where you're not 100%. I don't know. You're starting to read the newspaper clippings, and something like this needs to humble you a little bit. That Indiana came in here and played a hard football game, and you're not going to sleepwalk through any of it, Buckeyes. So buckle up, fucking on to Camp Randall.
Yeah, it worries me a little bit that we do play shittier at home, which is odd, especially for young teams like this. Just in the last 2-3 years, all our Virginia Tech loss, the Michigan State loss, and all those games were the same. It came back to offensive play calling, not being able to change or adapt or adjust your playbook. But I tell you what, though, it's a lot easier to watch these games and not go through the ups and downs so much when it's the offense struggling and not the defense. Our defense comforts me.
Right. We're going to get into that. Yeah, I want to touch on.
I would much rather have our offense struggling and our defense playing great than vice versa.
Great point. Yes, Sean, what were you going to say?
No, were you ever worried in that game that we were going to lose? I was not.
No,
we didn't look crisp, but I was like, just
because of the defense, like Jeff said.
Just aggravated that we weren't playing up to our potential, and we weren't being. We looked like a poor passing football team. That's what they're just aggravated on that aspect alone.
This is
why why we couldn't pass the ball.
We'll agree to agree.
Yeah, sticking in it. So let's get to the bright side, which was obviously. I'll leave the only 4 guys with receptions on the back burner. We can discuss that another time. That's super frustrating to me to only have 4 receivers catch balls. But anyway, let's move on to the defense. Obviously, this was the highlight of the game. Nick Bosa. This kid, I would venture to guess he is having a greater impact than Joey did his freshman year. The play on fourth down, seriously, the play on fourth down, you can't argue that, dude.
That's a grown man play right there.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, go ahead, Sean.
No, he brings it. I can't believe it. Coming off an ACL, true freshman, that fucking kid brings it.
In limited reps. The kid's not out there every down.
I know. I must be good to be Coach Johnson, man. He's got a lot of dudes out there.
Yep, that's that recruiting. And I'm not going to complain too much about the fumble recovery that we should have had that was reviewed down inside the 10, where no Indiana players were able to touch the ball, but Ohio State players were on top of it, but you could see it.
Quick question with that. Okay, so he did the review, but every camera angle I saw didn't show who got up with the ball. Whoever got up with the fucking ball is who had the ball.
Right.
Jalen Holmes got up with the ball in his
hand. Yeah, exactly.
Remember the play. Jalen Holmes clearly he didn't even pull it away from anybody. When Jalen Holmes got up, he had the ball in one hand and was like, "What?
Conley?
Why do we don't have it?"
Conley was the only other person to touch the motherfucker.
Oh, I know. The other dude was totally behind him. And then all the reviews they were showing on TV was like, well, you can't see where the ball is. You can't see where the ball. I'm like, yeah, it's in there. Whoever comes up with it, and there's only Buckeyes around it, has it.
That was bullshit. Just like we talked about, the refereeing was terrible. Some of these,
I don't like that rule in general because I saw it in the Arkansas-Alabama game as well. That it actually did go against the offense when Alabama was getting ready to score at the goal line. They did, and it was the same thing, fumble, and you didn't actually see the Arkansas guy recover it, but he clearly grabbed it because he took off running with it. But there wasn't and they counted that time. So that's another one of those rules I don't fully understand, and it's like the rule goes against what clearly your eyes are telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, you watch that play. I mean, I saw it live. I said, oh shit, that was a fumble. Are they gonna call it? And then I looked down. And I'm like, oh fuck, how could you not call it? How was that not our ball?
That running back did not recover it. He was getting smashed. He was getting smashed.
Both of his arms.
Yeah.
Both of his arms are forward, and the ball is like behind his ass.
And he's on his stomach. There's no fucking way, man. So anyway, we'll digress off of that one.
Jalen Holmes, I saw was Jerome Baker, Jalen Holmes, Marshawn Lattimore, three guys that stuck out to me.
Your boy, you had the spotlight on, Jeff. Sam Hubbard had a nice football game.
Hubs, big Hubs.
Making plays. Those guys, defense down the line. Robert Landers making plays. Draymond Jones.
Yeah.
I saw him in the backfield a lot.
I got to put a highlight on Jalen Holmes. That's been my guy since week one. The dude is never ending in the backfield. He is always back there. He's making plays. He goes sideline to sideline with Hubs and everybody else just as quickly. That dude is a fucking stud. He got the fumble recovery on the Taekwon strip sack. Huge. The dude is very underrated, in my opinion. Nobody really talks about him.
All those guys are good.
Yeah. Well, I like how they're moving him inside too on these third down,
the Rushman
mid range.
Yeah, Rushman.
I'm looking at a 3rd and 6 right now. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. We got Bosa and Holmes in the middle with Taekwon and Hubbard. And Baker showing blitz.
Guess what? They're coming at you.
Yeah, oh god, and Jalen Holmes would have killed that guy if they would have let that play stand.
Baker again. I gotta highlight my guy Baker too. That motherfucker lived in the backfield. He was in the backfield making plays. When Raekwon was getting folded up by a fucking guard, fucking Baker was in there, and he goes sidelines.
Taking on that fat chubby fucker 3 times in a hole, man on man.
He got plowed.
Taking him.
Yeah.
Taking him on. Filling the hole.
And he had a bunch of other big plays. That Jerome Baker, I mean, go back and watch the tape. Jerome Baker is flying around making plays all over the field. Big plays.
Yeah.
And he is playing his ass off. I think we all knew it. We all said it. Sorry, Booker, but this dude's a beast.
No,
I think when Booker comes back, he'll get in the rotation. But Jerome Baker needs to be on the field because he's that.
Yes,
I hate to see a guy lose his job to injury, but this may be necessary right now.
Well, you know how
when when your replacement's playing that good, hey, nobody. I mean, you can't. You're doing a disservice to the defense if you take Jerome Baker out just because the other guy is healthy.
Yeah.
You're shortchanging the whole defense.
And Baker,
he deserves to play. I mean,
Baker was on his heels the whole camp. It could have easily gone either way.
We don't know. And Booker doesn't look like he's close. He's still got a brace on his knee.
Yeah, he's not
in street clothes. I mean, I don't know. It's a MCL sprain, right?
Yeah, I think it's more serious than they let on.
They can those things. Yeah, I mean, those things can. I mean, sometimes not everybody's knee is made of Adrian Peterson's knee.
Well,
you know,
then you
that
figure
shit
out
can take a while.
Then you figure out, do you keep who I think's been having a great year? Do you keep Worley on the field, or do you slide Baker over there, or to get Booker back on the field? Who's better, I guess, behind Baker? 'Cause to me, actually, Baker's our best linebacker. I mean, I watched that game, and Raekwon, I don't think he had a great game. I watched.
He did well,
a couple
dude.
Good plays.
He did well. He was in there. He got folded up by those O linemen, man. Their O line was decent, man.
He got hesitant on some shit that I stood out.
Yeah.
To me. I was like, dude.
Yeah, he got folded up a couple times that were not pretty, but that's the life of a middle linebacker.
The thing is, too, I mean, Raekwon doesn't, he doesn't have those 20 tackle games because we have 10 other good ass players on defense too.
And it's a different.
A lot of those linebackers that put up gaudy numbers, like these crazy tackling numbers, because nobody else on the team can make a fucking tackle. Usually, I mean, there's so many other guys where, guys aren't missing tackles where he's got to clean them up.
Yeah.
That's the case a lot of times.
On
he
top
makes
of that,
every tackle he has an opportunity to make, he makes. I don't see him missing very many.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah, he actually missed a couple this week, but I mean, he is usually a sure tackler. I'll give you that.
Let me emphasize Jeff's point on the systems kind of making the linebacker almost, looking at it from an inside-out point of view. Look at the type of offenses that we're running now in the Big Ten. Everybody's spread out. It's not just a running down your throat, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of thing. Look at James Laurinaitis. He had 17 tackles a game basically, but that's back when you're running these right at you type of running games in the Big Ten. Nobody spread it out. Nobody threw it.
He had 9 games of I formation.
Laurinaitis ain't that old, guys. In fucking 1965.
No.
I mean, fucking look. I think my take on it is McMillan. I don't know. I don't know if he's afraid to get burnt with the pass. I feel like he doesn't read it quick enough for some reason. I think he's got all the ability in the world. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. But I feel like he hesitates, and I don't think he's playing super fast. The thing he is he's a total stud leader from everything I hear, and he's the captain of the defense. He makes the calls. So you can't take him out. I just I don't know. I just feel like he'd take the fucking governor off.
Okay.
A little bit.
All right. I appreciate that point of view, however wrong it may be. Pow! So continuing on, a couple of the highlights I wanted to talk about on this game. The fans, you gotta recognize Buckeye Nation in the house. They caused at least 2 delayed games, and I don't know how many timeouts on those third downs.
Loud.
That was awesome. And the players were injecting them and asking them to, get hyped. That was awesome. Love to see that. It's been a while since the fans actually had an impact on a game that I've seen.
It seems, for having 104 to 108,000 fans per game, we're not always as loud as I think we could be or should be.
Yeah.
You don't notice the crowd noise as much. I mean, watching games at Penn State and shit. Those games you can just hear it. You can hear it through the TV.
It comes through, yeah.
Excessive, yeah.
Yeah,
but there was
acoustics of the stadium too.
Sean's naysaying son of a bitch tonight.
I am,
fuck the Buckeyes. I'm not even a fan.
No, Buckeyes are as loud as anybody. It's just our stadium's not as loud as anyone's stadium. Some of them are in a fucking wind tunnel.
Right.
They're loud as fuck.
Right.
And they're on top of the field. I mean, it's just, it's hard to play in Seattle. It's tough to play certain places, and we're going to a loud one this week. Wisconsin fans aren't any louder than Buckeye fans. They just got a stadium that echoes, and they're on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was nice. It was nice to see the crowd getting into on these third downs, and
they caused that shit.
They were calling timeouts, getting delayed games. Yeah. They could have called 3 timeouts in a row.
Yeah,
at one point here.
I just wanted to point out that the fans actually were involved.
But you also heard the fans, middle of the third quarter getting into the groaning like
good.
Fuck.
It's Buckeye fucking football, man. Live up to it.
It's like, hey, that's our
frustration.
quarterback. That's our quarterback. You keep running out there, coach.
Yeah,
we knock it off with that shit.
We got two very, very competent running backs. All right, let's remember that, Herb.
I mean, at least two.
So
everybody that's ran the ball this year for us has looked impressive. Now, granted, it's been in different times of the games, different competition, but Weber can. I think Weber can run the ball 25 times a game if needed. Like he can be that workhorse. At this point in the season, I think he's got his legs under him. He can, we get into where we just need to. When we were, in the past when we just pound Zeke or pound Carlos, I think Weber's there. I think he's a young kid. Give him a couple of those games where you just feed him, keep feeding him.
So, great. We got to touch on special teams quickly because we had a great kickoff return. I mean, typically we don't talk special teams unless something is memorable. Paris Campbell almost took that bitch to the house. That was nice. Got hawked down late. But on top of that, just to continue.
What's with that Paris Campbell getting fucking hawked?
Well, yeah, but he had a couple other good returns. The dude actually had a great return game. I don't know why he's not worth a piss out as a receiver, but also I want to touch on, while we're talking about special teams, is Dontre and the punt return team seems to be very average. Am I wrong? When's the last time we had a punt return for 10 plus?
Well, what I noticed yesterday on most of those punts, that's the most fucked up looking punter I've ever seen. First of all,
because he's black.
I was like, wait a minute, they're trying to fake. They got the receiver out there punting. What are they doing? But the way he was punting yesterday, you weren't gonna get a return, man. He was kicking the ball 20 yards off the ground.
Some, yeah,
and short, the short low liners.
I'm speaking in general terms.
I would much rather see Dontre being smart with it. If that ball's bouncing 10 yards in front of you and it's rolling on the ground and there's defenders all over, just let it go, man. It's not like we're in a big hole where he's got to gamble and try to make a play to jump start our offense or something. I get it. I'm not so now. I am kind of frustrated. We don't see the big returns, but he's being very smart and not gambling, putting us in a real bad spot. So
yeah,
he's not getting. He's not getting. It's not like he's calling fair catch and there's a 10-yard window with nobody around him. You know what I mean?
Punt return.
I don't think he's getting a lot. He's not getting a lot of looks.
I mean, I don't think we're appreciating that it was a windy day, and I mean, now you're talking a punt up there in the air. I mean, to get under that you don't fumble one of them is a fucking win in my book, and A+ on special teams for that day. Do I want to see us start getting a little returns on them with some of these guys? Sure, but as far as yesterday's games going with, like Jeff said, the fucked up punter, the wind, and no turnovers, no muffed punts, and that's a win in my book. We were getting a lot of those at like the 42.
The 42?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, first things first. You make sure you don't fumble the ball. You don't gamble on giving the ball back to the punting team. And he's done a great job of making sure not putting us in those kind of spots.
Yeah.
Returns will come.
I get it.
We haven't tried to block a punt yet either.
Well,
we haven't tried to put really any pressure on a punt this year.
We
were close, very close.
In this game, we brought it.
But yeah, luckily they didn't run into the fucking punter. They were very close. But anyway, so we touched on that. Special teams, Paris Campbell, very nice return. It's been so long since we had a kickoff or a punt return for a touchdown. It's had to be 2 years, right? It didn't happen last year. So just to finish up on a couple negative points that I forgot to mention.
It was a perfect timing, too, because of the momentum.
That was huge, yeah. Second quarter, we owned the second quarter like normal. That's typically when we turn it on. And then third quarter, we came out and just decided that second quarter was fine. We'll just live on that. But anyway, I want to touch on a couple quick things with you guys to finish up this post game. 9 penalties. I know we mentioned this earlier, but I feel like this is a continuous problem that we're not getting out of, you know? We've had an average of 6 to 9 every fucking week. That's a bit much. I mean, we're looking at close to
team.
Right. I
Young
get that.
team.
As long as you can overcome them, that's great. But
some of them, you know, there's a few of them that have been coming from the sideline, though. I mean, would we have a sideline penalty the other day?
That wasn't for.
We're not getting the plays in sometimes. I mean, a lot of that shit's on the sideline, so that's a bit concerning. But
Well, the sideline penalty was not actually assessed because that was a warning.
Yeah, no, that was a penalty because we got the ball. It was after the play, but yeah, it was a 4th down. They went for it. We got them stopped, but then we got pushed back with the
that wasn't
penalty. So we got
that was
play
just a warning. Okay.
No, that was a sideline infraction or sideline interference.
Motherfucking cocksuckers.
I don't, and that's just I don't even know. I don't know what that is. Somebody like an official gets bumped. Like the official's running.
Somebody got in his way.
And I don't know if it was
where's Coach? Where's Mick?
Where's the get back
Coach
guy?
Mick and the strength. Schlegel, the assistant strength guy. Yeah. He needs to be the get back guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's uncalled for.
Yeah. But still, I want to harp on the 9 penalties. I know that the offensive line had their fair share. Billy Price, what the fuck? Who else had one on the O line? I think he might have had 2. We had receivers.
One was a holding. That was a yeah.
And we had receivers not lining up at the proper position. You know, only 4 guys in the fucking seriously, dude.
We get 1 or 2 of those every game. That shit should be addressed and fixed in practice.
Right.
That's one thing that our preparation is lacking.
That's that use.
Yeah, that's just knowing because we have so many different people. I think it might. I don't know. I could be off base, but we have so many different packages and so many different rotating people that maybe they're in 30 different sub packages.
Yeah.
Where I think you get a guy. Well, one guy might be part of 20 different packages because we have 15 different guys that we're rotating in different groups. I bet that's where some of it comes from. Where they're in what package I'm lining up 2 yards off, what in this package I'm on the line. But it seems like but we get 2 of those a game.
Yeah, that's another
4 men, more than 4 men in the backfield, or whatever.
That's another one of those side effects that you don't plan for when you're playing fucking 10, 12 receivers.
Exactly. I mean, that's one of the downs. I think it makes sense to me that would be relatable.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just the guy that's got his head up his ass and he's not doing his homework as much as the rest of the guys. I don't know. They don't ever give you numbers on that stuff, so you don't. And the coaches never talk about who was lining up wrong. So I'm sure they know what happened and why, but that's something that us fans just sitting here watching the game aren't gonna know about.
Yeah.
But
again,
you're right. But these penalties
can. That goes to coaching. You know what? Those are coaching errors.
Exactly.
Coach. I mean, jumping off sides and holding's a player error. But when your players don't know what the fuck they're doing, then that's on the coach to teach them. So.
Yes, correct.
Learn your
the PI on Marshawn towards the end of the game.
Learn your fucking plays.
Yes.
PI?
The PI on Marshawn, I'll take one of those plays. That was a great defense in my book. If we get a PI in that case, I'm good with that because that's good coverage, man. And if you're out there fighting with a receiver on an island like that, and that wasn't, I saw a lot more fighting a lot of times. So I'm okay with that pass interference, really.
Yeah.
He's battling. Somebody. Marshawn said, "Could somebody please tell me why that's P?"
Yeah.
Mark should have picked it. You know, that I'm not so concerned. I'm not going to jump on his case. You know, it's not like he got burnt and he had to tackle a guy to save a touchdown. Denzel Ward's the only guy that got burnt deep, and I don't know why or how that happened. I don't know why he was looking shallow when the guy went behind him.
You perfectly.
That's a little more egregious to me.
You led me into my guys on my microscope last week that showed up horribly. Actually, they actually made themselves highlights when they should have just been under the microscope, and that was D. Ward on that terrible. I don't know what he was looking for. Maybe he thought he had over-the-top coverage. Whatever. That was a huge play. That was one of my guys on defense to watch because of his size. I was concerned, with the multiple receiver sets that he was going to be lit up, and he obviously was. And then on top of that, my offensive guy was Mikey Weber, and he had a nice football to the face on the first series, which he just didn't eat up.
I partly put that on JT. I
don't know. You think?
You don't throw that ball that hard right at his face mask when he's just like the timing wasn't right and the spacing wasn't right.
But this is a play that they've changed.
I think they credited that fumble to JT, by the way.
Okay, well,
they should have. Yeah, he's the pitch man.
Yeah, I agree.
I've had a rough night with a pitch man before. Anyway, they've been running this weird kind of weird kind of. It's not a toss. It's more of a fucking whip it play all season. You notice that they're not running.
Yeah.
They're not running these jet sweeps in front where it's actually a forward pass that would be if it was incomplete, it'd be incomplete. If the guy dropped it. Now they're running this more of a almost fastball out to the swing guy that's 5 yards away.
Backwards, so it's a fumble.
Right.
And
what the fuck?
And I just saw, and I got the game going here, and I just saw him do it again with Samuel. Yep. And the spacing was, they were about 2 more yards further apart, and Samuel had a lot more of a lead to him, and JT threw it perfect to him.
Yeah.
That first one, the spacing wasn't right, and you can't, bro. I mean, they throw it like from the bottom, so it's end over end at you.
Yeah.
And you can't throw that real hard at somebody's face. It's like what you used to do to me, Joe, when we were little. You'd say, "Hey, Jeff, catch," and you throw the ball real fast and blast me in the face. I never caught those, did I? Ever?
No. You did well.
No. Yeah. Eating football, sure.
Sorry about your dental work.
But I mean, it just they need to practice that more, just more repetitions. Get the spacing better on that.
It's a weird play to watch on TV. It's like odd and not sure it's a good idea. So let's get off that game. All right, let's wash ourselves of this bullshit. Woosah, and let's get
still a 3-touchdown win.
Exactly. Yeah.
Go Buckeye.
Even though
one last thing.
Did not cover. Yeah. Thank you.
I did not have to ask. Go ahead, Joe.
Did not cover. Did not get the over. So, fuck you.
But somebody, you got to explain to me. Was that on Hooker's return for a touchdown? Was that Arnett with the chop block right at the end? Was that the penalty?
Yeah,
that's what they're telling me it was.
Yes,
and is that a penalty?
Because you're allowed to block a guy low. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's a penalty. He's a big lineman coming at him. He hit him. He put a shoulder into his thigh.
I don't know. What's he supposed to do?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't
go
know
high.
How that's a penalty.
Yeah, go high at a fucking lineman. No thanks. Yeah, that was.
But
bullshit.
You see that block all the time. I see that block all the time.
Right.
On the perimeter, but it's not a guy engaged. There's nothing like that. I know you can't chop a guy that's already engaged with somebody.
Yeah. But
I see you see it every play. Receivers, running backs, everybody does it. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to block a guy low. I don't understand where that chop block was.
Running backs never showed it. Running backs go low every fucking down when somebody's blitzing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know how that was. If that's the only one I saw in that return, Because I went back and looked. I'm like, where's the chop block?
It was inside the 10 there. Yeah.
I had on my sheet, hooker pick 6. I was hoping you guys had some 6 pictures of some fucking hookers, because that was bullshit. My boy had another one.
Yeah. I didn't know you could return those hookers. Anyway.
Yeah, that.
Moving along.
Moving along.
You can't return all of it. Some of it stays with you.
Yeah. Like STDs. All right. So let's get into some whiskey. Too late. I already have. So Wisconsin coming up this week. This is going to be, in my opinion, I know you guys might disagree with me, but I think this is going to be our toughest game of the year until we get to the Michigan game. They are 4-1. This is an 8 o'clock game in that shithole, whatever they call it, Cramp Randall. ESPN Game Day will be there, so it's going to be super hyped. Those fuckers are going to be super wasted.
Get Herbie on the call, though. I like Herbie and Fowler on the call.
Oh, well, yeah. He will try to not give any Buckeye love, so you can plan on that.
Wisconsin, they're going to be trashed.
Yeah. Whiskey will be a problem. They're coming off a bye also. So these cocksuckers have had 2 weeks to prepare for us. Not super pumped about that. They just lost a defensive struggle to those cocksuckers up north, 14-7. So
the game that set back college football for 20 years.
Yeah, it hurts my eyes to even think about that.
Jesus Christ!
I know. My eyes will smell that forever.
Yeah.
Right.
I see khaki and yellow.
So one thing I was going to say, Joe, about thank God Wisconsin can't run tempo, because I thought that was one thing Indiana kind of had us on the heels at points in the game with their ability to run tempo.
D
I
got
don't
a little
think
tired.
we have to worry about that with whiskey.
No.
So I don't know what Wisconsin's offense really has for us.
I don't think freshman QB Hornibrook can get tempo on the Buckeye D, but they do have
lefty?
Well, I'm sorry.
The lefty? Isn't Hornibrook a lefty?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's whipping shit. He's all over. So, we know Wisconsin.
Looks like my sister throwing a football.
Yeah. Anyway. So, strong running game as usual. That's Wisconsin's MO. Always has been, always will be, until somebody takes that old fucker out of the AD position. They got their senior running back, Corey Clement, leads the team in rushing. And they got
He's a good runner. He's good.
Yeah, he puts up some numbers. He has to carry that fucking team, especially on offense.
Right.
Old Hornibrook's not going to get it done. And then you got your receivers here, Jazz Flute, Peavy, and what's this guy? Oh, Wheelwright. He's from Columbus. Lead the team in receiving.
Oh, one of the Wainwright boys.
No, Wheelwright and Jazz Flute. So
that's Wheelwright got injured in the Michigan game. Did he come back from that injury? He was out of the game against Michigan.
That. I don't know.
I don't know how major it was. I haven't checked in their health, but I know he left the game during the injury. He's the only one that looks semi-impressive against Michigan's DBs. That Peavy dude, he's nothing.
Yeah.
But I don't see their offense being able to do much of anything. I don't see them being able to show us anything that we're, maybe unprepared for or have trouble handling.
I think
we just got to. It goes back to us being able to move the ball in their defense.
I think this would be the game. If we're going to give up a rushing TD, this would be it, because that's what they do.
It's what they do, but I'm looking at their stats right now, and we average exactly twice as much fucking rushing yards as they do. They average 161 a game. We average 323.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because our passing attack this week looked like theirs does every week.
Right.
No, yeah. They average just under 198 receiving or passing. We only average 214 passing. I mean, their passing's not that much different than ours.
that's
No,
a
that's what I'm
freshman
saying.
quarterback.
We have to be able to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I'm really not concerned one bit about their offense. Now, granted, we're going to give up.
Man down.
Fucking drowning over here, right?
At some point, we're gonna give up a rushing touchdown. At some point, like
Yeah.
I would be shocked if we don't. It's going to happen, and I'm not going to really feel too upset when it does. It's a nice little run we're putting together, but it all goes back to us being able to throw the ball. We're going to need to be able to throw the ball against Wisconsin to keep the balance, because they'll put 9, 10 in the box, and their 9 and 10 in the box is strong.
Yep.
I mean, this is stronger than Indiana's.
Oh,
And,
for sure.
and we're going to see more of it from Michigan and the rest of the teams too. I mean, for Michigan State struggles, their defense front seven is still good. We're going to get it from them too.
Get it out to our speed. I don't think Wisconsin can hang with our speed. I think it'd be a mistake for us to try and pound it up the middle all day. And
Yeah, definitely.
get it out in space.
Yeah, let's go edge to edge with these fuckers. That's the problem I had with the Indiana game, is we did not attack the edges at all. We did not run any jet sweeps. I don't know if we have run one this entire season. Nobody is attacking the edges.
We
Fuck!
have
Bob
to
Saget.
we have to execute. We just our offensively we have to execute. That's what it all comes down to. If we execute offensively, our talent, our speed, all that just shows and shines, and nobody we play on our schedule can handle it. But if we're not executing and we're not, if receivers can't get open, if he's not making good reads, then we're going to get into this predictability. Lean on JT to save us with the run, and it's worked so far. But we're only going to be playing better defenses. It's only going to get tougher and less effective. We need to be able to attack through the air. We have
You think they're going to be pissed off from us beating them in the championship 59-0 last time we played them?
I think they forgot about
some
that.
of those guys are still around, yeah, but the different coach obviously. But that coach is Bielema's offensive coordinator, so he's got plenty of memories of us. He's got memories of beating us too.
No?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. We got too much talent. It's just use it. I don't know why we don't just use it. Gosh, we're all just sitting there clamoring. It's like like swingers. You're a big fucking bear with these claws. You don't know what to do with these giant claws. How do I kill the bunny? I got these big fucking claws. Use your fucking weapons, man.
That's freaky, dude. What are you talking
Right.
about?
Great movie though. Nice pull, Sean. Nice pull.
All right.
Better than that Warren Beatty bullshit.
Yeah, I won't sleep well tonight. So Wisconsin has number 8 defense in the country. I'm very concerned about this game. I know that they can't score with us, but how the fuck are we going to score is the huge question.
Right. I mean, we have the advantage almost to a man at every position. If it's Noah Brown out there in single coverage, one thing we didn't see in this whole Indiana game is Noah Brown, our formation dictating alone, man-to-man coverage with him isolated.
That's the thing.
Why can't?
Let's go back to the first quarter.
Why can't we do that?
He was isolated in the first quarter, and he completed passes over the middle, a slant, and a drag route to Noah Brown. The dude, if he's on single coverage, he's open.
Yeah. So we got to look at that, and we got to exploit mismatches. Like I said, man to man, any of our receivers can win one-on-one battles against any of their DBs.
You're gonna have to throw this week. You're right. I mean, if you're gonna plan on pounding it up the middle, I don't think that's fair to Weber or any of those guys. I mean, give them a little breathing room.
Yeah.
Give them a little cushion. We're not saying abandon the run, but don't let JT run 26 times, please.
No, that can't happen. That speaks to how bad our offense are struggling when he's running the ball 26 times. No, it's never good when you have your quarterback running 26 times, no matter who your quarterback is.
I want his
it's never a
over-under
good
to
sign for your
be
offense.
10. 10 should be his over-under. I don't want to abandon it. It works. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Oklahoma is supposed to be a huge D-line rushing game test for us, but we handled them well. I just hope that we don't get into a rut again where we think we can just pound the fucking rock all day long into a wall, and not give up on it and not try to be more diverse.
Right. You have to be able to show them you can hurt them with the pass. I mean, we can still run the ball for 300 yards and pass for 160. And like, what I mean, our passing numbers against Oklahoma weren't great.
16 for 23 or something like that. Nice, efficient passing game.
Right.
We just need to be able to show we can do it. And like, even against Oklahoma, we didn't throw for over 200 yards, but we had 4 touchdowns and we
ran for 300.
Right, and we dissected them through the air when we needed to, but they knew that's why they couldn't load the box and bring everybody down on us because we were killing them through the air, just not consistently. We don't, it's not you can still run the ball and break people's will. You just got to be able to show them that you can hurt them through the air. If you don't show them that, they can take away our running game.
It all goes back to that balance.
Yeah, you have to have it. The coaching staff's got to know that. They gotta. I don't know. They gotta see what us fans are seeing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they do. In Herb's post game comments, he had that shit-eating like grin on his face where he's like, "Yeah, I know Curtis Samuel only got 9 carries, and I know JT got a lot of carries, but."
But what? Herb? That's exactly what you say. The opposite of what you want to do. You do exactly the opposite of what you say you want to do. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's trying to sandbag or what.
And then you don't know. I don't know how that happens. Yeah.
You almost think like he's like they have like some master plan that they don't really want to tell anybody about. So they just like masquerade around it, but like
he's got an ace up his sleeve or something.
Yeah, but it just I don't know. It remains to be seen, I guess. Maybe it's something that it'll just come out naturally when we get into these bigger games. Yeah.
Well, looking at Wisconsin,
huge test Saturday night though. Huge test.
They allow 12 points a game, so play calling and offensive philosophy is going to have to change drastically. Very drastically.
Yeah, you can't. We're going to be in trouble. If JT runs the ball over 20 times, I think it might be like a 13-16 game. And I don't want to be within a field goal of Wisconsin.
No, not at home for them.
We might have a tougher game, that takes us down into the fourth quarter before we play Michigan. But you're right on, Joe, that this is the toughest game till we play Michigan, from what I can see. Nebraska might give us a game, but on paper, if we can get through this one, our guys got to focus, man up. Wisconsin's well rested. They just saw, a decent game plan against us, at least on the defensive side. This is going to be a tough game. I have no doubt about that. But it's one that's over. I think will go a long way if we perform, execute, run a good balanced offense, that these guys can get that reinvigorated confidence that they can have a special season.
Yeah.
I think the game plan is going to be more the same as Indiana's. Hold the ball, keep the ball away from us. Indiana almost to a fault because they were so conservative. But they ran the ball a lot more than I think we were expecting them to. But they tried to keep the ball away from us. Yep. I mean, they
milked the
and
clock.
Wisconsin's going to be a lot better at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true, because that's their deal.
Yeah, that's what they do. So we're looking at Buckeyes right now are favored by 9.5.
I saw 10.5 at one point. Then I think it dropped.
Yeah.
I think it opened up at 10.5, and then it moved. Maybe there's a couple of different lines. I'm not sure if it was Westgate or who was providing that,
Well,
but I saw 10.5 at the beginning.
Yeah, then take the Buckeyes. They're back on the train this week.
You think we roll them big time at home, huh?
I do. I think I got my number, my prediction on it.
Mm-hmm.
I got 38-10 Buckeyes. I think it's I don't see how Wisconsin scores, moves the ball. I've not seen them do it. They're not a good offense. There's no way that our defense lets them score that much. Our offense, these guys, I think they know, I think the coaches know that they laid an egg in the play calling last week. I think everybody's going to be a little amped up. I think you're going to see the offense play a lot faster than they did last week. And I think we're going to put 38 on the Badgers in Camp Randall with the noise.
I like that. I agree with you. I think this reminds me of last season, like we talked about offline, where this was like the Michigan State game, came out, played way down to the competition, lost. Fortunately, we won this Indiana game, but I think this is like an eye-opener, especially for the offensive coaches. Beck and Warner, whoever the fuck ruined that third and fourth quarter, I think this is going to be one of those eye-opening experiences like last season when we put them both back up in the booth against Michigan and crush those motherfuckers. I agree with you, Sean. I'm going heavy. I'd love to see 42 on these fools. I still want to keep them out of the end zone, though. That's the tough part at home, keeping them out of the end zone. I'm going to mirror your prediction on most. I'm going to go 42-10. What do you got, Jeff?
Ooh, it was early in the game for predictions. 33-13.
All right. You guys think they get in the end zone rushing? Break the streak?
I don't know if it'll be rushing or not.
You think old Hornibrook's going to whip one in the end zone?
I don't fucking know, man. If our offense keeps putting our defense in tough enough spots, we're going to give up one of these. I mean, and we had that breakdown with Hooker on that little tight end flare out.
Yeah.
Indiana's second touchdown. I mean, where you're going to have that. I mean, I don't think they get in the end zone twice. No.
I agree.
I think they score once. I think they get in the end zone once. They might get a couple field goals. I think our defense bends a little, doesn't break.
Yeah.
Because of a couple field goals.
He's going to throw them screw balls to that ball hawking secondary, and I predict a pick or two. Love to see one go back to the house. Give Hooker his six back.
Yeah.
That dude is. we need to give him the ball in space.
He's out there playing safety bait. He's baiting them quarterbacks
He
like
is.
a motherfucker, man.
He is. You're so right.
And they keep talking about Ed Reed. He looks and plays a lot like Ed Reed.
I think he gets more picks than Ed Reed ever did, man. Ed Reed was just a tackling machine and was breaking up passes. That dude didn't pick the ball like Hooker does. That dude goes at the ball.
Ed got a lot of picks in his early days, I think.
Yeah. He's in the league a long time. I'm not going to think about him when he played for the Canes. Any parting thoughts? Final comments?
No, only parting thought is we got to have a great week of preparation. We got to get accurate with the deep ball because we got to be able to show it, for them to respect it. I mean, JT just looked off. If it was all wind, it was all wind. But he missed a wide open Samuel again in the Oklahoma game too. We got to work on getting more accurate down the field.
Well,
you got to at least be able to show it.
Let me jump on that real quick. We need a receiver if JT can get the ball out in front of a guy, that's a big question first, because that's what Cardale did. He got the ball out in front of a guy, and we need a receiver that's going to go get it, like a Devin Smith. That we don't have that right now. You know, at least we don't have the quarterback that's going to put it out in front of a guy where he can go up and high point it, you know, like a Devin Smith did.
Yeah, not like that. I mean, but Cardale Jones could throw it fucking 80 yards.
Yeah, and Devin Smith was prolific. I mean, he was one of the best deep ball receivers that I saw in college football in the last 10 years.
Right.
No,
really.
To me, the party
But
gift before whiskey, though, is you have a team that has something to reflect on now. We've been pretty much flawless to this point in the season, up into the Indiana game.
Yeah.
So I think at least in the offense, in the coach's room, and in the position rooms, there's some things to say. Hey, man, we've got to fucking step it up. We can't mail it in like this. And so hopefully it's a good week to reflect and fucking figure out. Hey, we got to get better.
Yeah, and Herb always has the guys ready. It seems like we come out a lot sharper on these big away games than we do on the big home games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is, but it seems that way.
Yeah.
So I have no doubts that Herb will have those guys ready.
All right. I agree. Not sure the 10-point spread is going to be doable, but it's very possible if everybody's focused and they fix some of these issues on offense. I think 10 plus is an easy proposition.
Got to win the turnover battle. Got to win the
Yep.
turnover margin. Have to
give you that. We know the defense is going to perform. That's a given almost. Just offense, strictly offense right now. So it's good right now to have these issues. It's better than having these issues in week 9, 10, 11. You know, you don't want to be trying to.
Yeah, you can't play like this against some of the better teams because you could lose.
Yep, and you can't be trying to fix shit at the end of the year. You need to fix shit now. So, yeah, I'm hyped about this game. I'm glad you guys talked me off the ledge. After this Indiana game, I was pretty fucking pissed off. I was throwing shit. I broke a few windows. I owe my wife a few dinners and probably some gifts and roses. Anyway, we won't get into that.
No, let's get into that.
So, awesome podcast this week, guys. I am much more optimistic about this whiskey game than I was going into it. Anything else you guys want to hit on, like quick punch in the face type of stuff, or let's move on?
Sitting here, I got to roll, man. I got to piss.
Yeah, me too. I just my glass is empty. I had gin and orange tonight, so solid.
If we'll do another one later in the week if JT gets a DUI or something.
Oh, ouch! That would suck. That's a definite issue. Yeah.
Those aren't fun, man.
No,
I've heard.
rumor has it.
I'm told. All right, ladies, way to fuck this one up. All right, this is the Buckeye Cast. You know we're born and bred Buckeyes. We come from the Buckeye State, but we live in other places. I got Jeff in the O.
Yes, sir. See you later, Joe.
Got Sean in the D.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hit us up on iTunes. Subscribe to the podcast. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Hit the website, thebuckeyecast.com. Peace.
It's fun time.
Hello.